Hello everyone and welcome back to another Doctor Who review. Today we are talking about Rogue, the latest Doctor Who episode, which was written by Kate Herron and Briony Redman. Forgive me if I said that incorrectly. Just a heads up, this will be a full spoiler review of the episode. So if you haven't seen the episode yet, go watch it and then come back. I don't want to ruin anything for you. And while the last episode, Dot and Bubble, while I did mention that it was kind of a mixed bag for me, but overall it ended very strong and was positive in the end, this episode is more of a mixed bag that leans a bit negative, but it does do a lot of great things. One, I thought that Jonathan Groff gave an amazing performance as Rogue in this episode. He did a fantastic job. And I thought that the chemistry with Ncuti Gatwa was excellent, and I really kind of liked this sort of one-off romance that they were building with the Doctor here. I've actually been a fan of when the show does this in the past. I know some people disagree, but I love the episode The Girl in the Fireplace. I loved the relationship with the Doctor and... oh my gosh, I forget the person's name from the Family of Blood and Human Nature, but I thought that was a good story. I thought that Voyage of the Damned with Kylie Minogue, I thought that some people argued that that wasn't going to be romantic. It kind of seemed like it to me. But I really like their chemistry, I really like their story, and I like the idea of almost a quite literal rogue bounty hunter, going through time and space looking for, bounties to collect. I got some early Captain Jack Harkness vibes from him, just kind of being this American badass, essentially. Although Rogue is a lot more stoic and calculated than Jack is, I think. I also really like what they did with Ruby in the episode. I thought that her standalone bits really shine. I'm starting to like her more and more every episode. I think 73 Yards really helps cement that. And going back to the Rogue storyline, with how it ends, with him kind of sacrificing himself to be sent out into the, somewhere in the universe, and he tells the Doctor, to come find him. I'm looking forward to when that story comes back. I would love to see this character again. I would love to see all of that wrap up, especially if the Doctor in that time has regenerated, and how will Rogue react to that, I think is a very interesting topic to explore. I also thought that the setting was fun in the 1800s, and, there were a lot of Bridgerton references, because of course you have Ruby Sunday, who's a younger character who would obviously make that reference, and it does tie into the main story of the cosplaying that the shape-shifting aliens are doing, but that's kind of where the episode hinders for me. I didn't love the shape-shifting monsters in this. I thought the makeup effects and even some of the CGI were really good, but the overall story of them cosplaying, it was a neat idea. I just don't think it quite worked in execution for me. I found it to be a little bit silly. And I'm not going to sit here and say Doctor Who's never been silly. It's silly all the time. But sometimes it's silly and it works. And in this case, I think it was silly and it didn't work. And I found that kind of main part of the story to be really unsatisfying. But luckily, every time it cut back to the Doctor and Rogue, I was very interested and, continued my enjoyment from there on. I'd really like to see their relationship and dynamic in a stronger story. And one moment that I thought was really interesting to see, which I've already seen discourse online about, is they do that thing with whenever there's a new Doctor where they kind of show previous incarnations of the Doctor. And this is the first time where we've gotten to see the Richard E. Grant Doctor, which is either from the one animated thing that he did that starts with an Shulkra, I think it was called. I've never seen it, but I know of it. And people think it could be a reference to that, or it could be a reference to, was it Curse of Fatal Death? Please correct me, Internet, if I'm wrong, but I think it was Curse of Fatal Death, where he played an incarnation of the Doctor, but it seems to recognize it as canon. So whether they're saying that's a William Hartnell Doctor, like the Fugitive Doctor, which we also saw, or if they're saying it's another thing that they're going to tie in later. Either way, I'm fascinated. I thought that was an interesting choice. We'll see if it goes to be a positive or negative one. Speaking of Richard E. Grant, I love that man. And when he played the Great Intelligence, I thought he was excellent. Just throwing that out there. Yeah, I'm very curious to see if that'll ever get addressed again or where that goes. But what did you guys think of the episode overall? I'd love to see your thoughts in the comments below. I was a bit mixed on it, but I would happily see the Jonathan Groff Rogue character again. I cannot wait for next week. It's the beginning of the 2-part finale of the season. It's so sad it's already fucking over, but we will get a Christmas special in a few months, so that's nice to look forward to. But again, what did you guys think? Please let me know, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.